Hey everyone, Mark here with the Jungle Gyms podcast, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, I gotta watch this guy now too? And that's right, you're welcome. Look, with the podcast, I always envisioned this of having a good video component, and I thought that this hot pot episode was a great way to sort of test the waters for the future of how I visually see this show. So I wanted to shoot this little intro before you came to the YouTube page to go, oh, well, it's just the usual animation I'm seeing there. And yes, you will see that usual animation here in just a minute for like the first 8 or so minutes of the show for my typical lead up so that you know what I'm talking about on today's podcast. But if you skip past that, you can jump right into the video segment where you can watch us actually make and eat the hot pot so you get a real feel for the experience we had here. So I hope that you enjoy this. And you know what? As always, I'm taking your suggestions. So if you love this, shoot me an email at podcast@junglegyms.com. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see on the show. I would love to engage with you directly because this isn't just for me. It's for both of us. Enjoy. What's up, Banana Bunch? Another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast is upon us. I got an interesting one for you today. And you know what? I wanted to give a quick shout out to all of our new listeners and followers, especially if you're listening to the show now that you've seen the chili bathtub stunt that we pulled in the WJJI studio this week. So thank you all so much for your interest. Now, if you are new, today's episode is a little unorthodox, and I might actually recommend that you dive into one of our earlier episodes. Today will be an update in covering Lunar New Year, so if you want some international culture, you might want to jump back 2 episodes and listen to the episode, What's the Deal with Lunar New Year? Because you have to say it in the Jerry Seinfeld voice. Or if you just want to get an idea of how the show typically rolls, go ahead and check out one of my personal favorite episodes, Tony Woods and the Seafood Spectacular, to get a better handle on what the Jungle Gyms podcast is all about. And on that episode, you actually even get to meet Jungle. Of course, if you are new, I'd be remiss if I didn't hit you with this request as I do every episode. If you do enjoy this show, I'd love a review for it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You see, downloads and reviews are the main metrics by which shows are both judged and ranked. A few minutes of your time will ensure that this podcast is here to stay. Thanks to everyone that's already written reviews, as I truly appreciate your time and your support. Actually, this is really fun news. As of the time of this recording, we are actually the number 45 food podcast on Apple's charts. That is super amazing, and honestly, I couldn't have done it without all of your help. So thank you one more time. Okay, so I said today's episode is going to be a little unorthodox, and I was right. I've had the opportunity recently to do a few fly-on-the-wall style segments for the show. Now, the one that you're hearing today is all about hot pot, and if you just said, what's hot pot? Don't worry, I'm going to explain it in a minute. But I'm mentioning this because today's episode will also have a video that will be released sometime in the future, so keep your eyes peeled to the Jungle Gyms YouTube page to watch along. But of course, today, I'm inviting you in to eat with us as we explore a meal all about getting together, done as part of my series on Lunar New Year, which is happening on February 1st. You'll hear some bubbling of the broth, some clanking of dishware, and even a few cheers of our non-alcoholic beers on air. Now, if you love, or even if you don't love this episode or style of episode, I would love if you'd reach out to me at podcast@junglegyms.com, or you can give me a call at 513-674-6855 and leave me a voicemail. I just kind of want to get your feelings as I try new things on the show because, you know, we're all in this together. But first, what is hot pot? Okay, so hot pot is an experience. It's all about communal dining, and that's something that we don't really get often in Western culture. It's pretty simple. You get together with friends or family, loved ones, ultimately people whose broth you won't mind sharing, and you cook all kinds of stuff. So proteins, veggies, noodles, and more in a single simmering pot of insanely tasty broth heated in a little pan or on an induction cooktop like we used in the studio here. Well, where did hot pot come from? I'm so glad you asked, audience. Well, the original hot pot, according to my research here, it actually came into East Asia thousands of years ago by the Mongolian Empire, and I'm sure was, at least at the time, probably a little less detailed and food stuffed as our version that we tried to make today here was.
Now, if we know our history, the Mongolian Empire's cultural influence spread very, very quickly, and they took the hot pot with them, meaning that we now have different versions of this in northern China, Korea, Japan, Vietnam, and so on. Now, part of the reason that we did all of this, the short version here, which is already going long, is that you're going to take those individual items and you cook them in the broth to your liking, and then you eat them. When you share with your family, friends, loved ones, and broth people you wouldn't mind sharing. Now, part of the reason that we did this and did this way, and of course, you'll hear us actually mention it a few times throughout the rest of the episode here, is that we all wanted to let you know that this is really super easy to make at home. I was surprised to find that out. I'm sure I say that at some point there, but I'm definitely saying it now. One of the beautiful things about hot pot is that you and the people eating, you're all picking everything out, so you literally can just make it whatever you like. You can eat whatever you like. I'm not the food police. You can have whatever you want right now. So while we made an insane spread with tons of different vegetables and protein selections for what I think you can all assume are obvious reasons, and if not, it's because we're in an international market right now, you really, really only need the 4 main ingredients, and that is some form of broth, a protein of your choice, a vegetable of your choice, and some noodles. So here we used a chicken broth base that we added what I can only describe as a seasoning bomb, thanks to its explosive flavor, to bring a little spice and heat to our experience. So if you like spicy, wait till Lucia tells you which one we use in the actual main part of today's show. Which reminds me, you will be hearing from Lucia again, who we met 2 weeks ago on the episode that I mentioned earlier, What's the Deal with Lunar New Year? And you'll also be meeting Jimmy, part of the Jungle family, for the first time. That said, I have a feeling that you'll be hearing more and seeing more with Jimmy soon, as he was a ton of fun to have around, and he always asked really great questions. Okay, did I vamp long enough for you to pause and get all your hot pot gear ready? Great. If not, I'll keep waiting. I'll still be here. But if so, go ahead and get ready to eat alongside us. Here we go. It's hot pot time. All right, everyone, this is the hot pot special today. So hold on. We'll give a moment of silence for them so they can hear it happen in the background. Hear that little bubbling? Ooh, and she dropped in the first noodles today. So I'm joined today by Lucia, who you'll remember from a week or two ago on the show. And this is, as I knock everything over, Jimmy, this is your first appearance on the show. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited.
This is really exciting. Well, Thank you for, suggesting this and kind of putting this all together. And I think this is a really fun thing for us to do together, which is to, explore international food culture together, but also to make it clear how easy this really is to do at home. I think that was a smart thing. So maybe, Lucia, you want to field this one. So tell us, what is hot pot?
Hot pots is kind of like food for a family when they have any party, reunion things, in any kind of party, not like specific. It's for Lunar New Year or for Christmas or anything. Like people want to have time with their family, sit down and eat food and talking and drinking. Hot pot will be the best one because you guys sharing the same broth in the front of you.
Sure.
And pick out what you ever like it, like vegetable, a lot of different kind of vegetable you can use for hot pot, and a lot of kind of meat or tofu or noodle you like, you can put it in a hot pot. And so they actually make everyone happy. Like not certain food, like I like it, but my mom don't like it. The hot pot can fix on that problem.
Sure. It's like everybody can try what they like realistically, but also gives you an opportunity to try something you might not have had.
And actually you can see your family in front of you and talking when you're eating, enjoy time.
Yeah. I like that it's an experiential food in that regard, that we're all kind of taking part of this together. Well, I thought it was fun, too, that it seemed like, at the very basic level, you could do this at home with 4 simple starting ingredients, which we determined to be a broth, a protein of your choice. So that can be, if you're not eating meat, tofu. In this instance, we went with beef and lamb, and we have a bunch of seafood options. We went crazy. We're in the middle of the world's largest international market, so we have some options here. But, you don't have to go as crazy as we did, right? We went expert mode first. But again, broth, protein, you want some vegetables, and it can be as simple as, and you'll see in the video, as simple as like some of this. We've got cabbage, bok choy, you name it, but we've got like on a simple end, there were potatoes and tomatoes and all these other things that you can try,
Yeah, anything that you want to dip in there, I guess. Keep
Yeah.
it as easy as possible. And the broth come in packets, so basically it's not much more complex than the ramen broth packet.
No, not at all. Honestly, and it smells a lot better.
Yeah.
That was fun. Yeah, today's mix is one of, we use chicken broth as well as the packet to even it out, which is such a cool idea. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to turn this on live to the
Oh,
room.
great. Cool.
So when you cook hot pots, it depends like what kind of vegetable or what kind of thing you put it on. You kind of timing them the perfect way you like to.
Okay.
Like if you like tender or you like really, really soft one, you can left them in there for a while and then you pick it out. And the best way, you got a tool called steamer.
Like
steamer.
a strainer, like
strainer.
a slotted
Like a strainer,
spoon.
so you can put meat or whatever you like on here, and then just kind of slightly move them around when they cook, so you don't have to dig in deep inside and fight it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So each of us will have one of them.
That's great. That's a pro tip.
Yeah.
Because when I did this at home, I
have
didn't
to,
do that,
like,
and we're
fry
like
it,
the
yeah.
meat's floating all
So
to the other
even
side of
like
the table.
noodle, you easy to wrap them out of it, and without all the soup or thing will drop it out.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like,
It looks great. This looks hot. Did you say we're doing a Szechuan chili broth here today?
yep. And
hope this doesn't-
this is like usually American people or a lot of people, not only American only, is we usually do the spicy of hot, spicy of chili, and spicy of horseradish.
Yeah.
Like up to your nose.
Sure.
This one is different type. They numbing your
Oh,
tongue.
this is this. Okay.
So we're going numb spicy today.
It's
I'm into
really
that.
hard to take it first, but then when you do it, you will love it, and you will feel missing it all the time.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, here, while you're doing that, let's listen to the bubbles. You can really hear it right now.
Then that's the time we can drop some vegetable in.
We've got our first audience member. Hi, can you hear us okay out there? I love it. We're doing a hot pot special today, so. And next week we'll have a video up so you can try and do this at home as well. It's a lot of fun. I guess if everybody, I probably won't cut that out of the episode. So if you're listening to the episode next Wednesday when it releases, it's not next Wednesday, it's right now for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This looks so good.
So there's the. You just
So-
put in the. That's
We-
a chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum, it's called tongho. I put some watercress. I put some enjoy and beet tip. So you guys can beginning use your chopstick and pick out what kind of vegetable you like.
And put it in your bowl. That's the
Yeah,
idea.
and pour your bowl.
All right, so Jimmy, you got to kick this one off.
I'll
Now,
try.
everyone may not know this, but Jimmy's actually made hot pot at home before, so that's just kind of fun.
With Lucia's guidance.
Well, of course. I mean, that still counts. I haven't done it. I just went to a restaurant and was just like, I'm going to circle the things that sound right.
I think
I do?
that's need a
Not
little
ready,
more
okay.
time. Yeah.
So the daikon radish needs to go in there. Ooh, this looks
Yeah, from
oily
beginning,
and hot.
you guys should put daikon radish in first, potato in first. They take longer time to cook.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. So not only is it's the best of both worlds because, like Lucia was saying, the whole family can enjoy it together, but also everyone can pick their individual thing that they like, and they can cook it how they like too.
Right.
Yep.
So it's a lot of flexibility amidst all the community.
I love that.
How do you beat that?
Can't beat that. I don't think you can, at least. I'm
can't.
trying not to beat it,
can't.
at least.
So is this ready to eat? Can I start having some bites here?
Yes, please.
I'm gonna get burnt up. This looks
I'm
hot.
hungry too.
It looks spicy. Yeah, I'm excited.
There. You want some noodle?
Yes, please. I'm excited. So we got, what were the greens in this one so
This
far?
one will be enjoy and tongho.
Awesome. And unchoy, that's one of your favorites, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Jimmy, you made a great comment earlier, like, oh, it's one of your favorites, and we've literally never heard of it until today. I love it. Well, Americans don't really eat vegetables the way everybody seems to elsewhere.
Then you can try a little broth. Jimmy, you want some broth?
Yes, please.
We'll try a little broth, too.
baby.
Thank you so much.
See how you handle the spice of it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's in
Let me
there.
know.
Okay, I got a little more.
We're gonna be
Okay,
different.
that's the important part. Pick out which kind of meat you like in cooking them by yourself.
Oh, the broth is so good.
Yep.
I love that.
basic way to cook. Just buy a chicken stock and put the packet in, and then you can add more water, depend on the saltiness you like, and that's it.
Yeah, great flavor. And it is tingling. My mouth is tingling already.
Yeah, I love it. I see what you mean about it being like a numb spice instead.
And with the long chopstick, it's help you out, so you don't have to be like
Yeah, these are great.
Yeah.
move your body.
I love these.
Are these, I always call these like serving chopsticks. Is that a correct way to call them? Or they're just,
I just don't know. It's just like
just long chopsticks.
Yeah, easy to use, so we always have it at home.
but these are hard to find. I don't, do you ever see these in American stores anywhere?
Not yet.
We don't even have them here, do we?
From Vietnam.
Yeah, we don't even have them here at the Jungle.
Well, I feel
I
like
would
we got
try
to be
to
the
get in.
first place.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, to give you all an idea, these chopsticks are probably, 18 inches long, something like that? And they got a little more girth than a traditional chopstick,
they're
too.
great.
That's for the audio listeners only.
A little spicy.
It's great, though.
He had a nice wet tomato. That was good. I'm going to ask a stupid question just because I like to learn too, and I don't know
Do
the
it.
answers. Do people, you don't drink out of the bowl? That's not, no. Maybe at the very, very end or something.
For me, for eating food, I don't really have a lot of rule. I do whatever I feel comfortable, you know.
I like that mentality.
Okay.
When you eat,
We're amongst friends, right?
like usually they say, when you eat, leave me alone.
Okay.
That's how to do.
Let me eat my way.
No rule,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
I love that.
We got a lot of work to do.
Oh, yeah. And this is
Yeah.
great, by the way.
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
I forgot
Surprisingly.
about the lobster tail.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, lobster tails up next. Ooh, baby.
And the shrimp.
I'm very excited for the shrimp.
We got a lot of work to do on this.
I'm
guys.
also
It's
very
awesome.
excited to embarrass myself trying to
It's
peel the
usually in
shrimp.
America they eat shrimp already peeled, but I like the one unpeeled because when you cook them, the sweetness I think to hold in the shrimp better than without the skin.
So traditionally, what would be drunk with this?
Hot pot I believe is more good with cognac
Oh.
because they less liquid because you eat hot pot a lot of liquid already. You don't want to fill your tummy with beer, so a sip of some heavy alcohol would be the best.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
Man.
That'll be for the after hours
Yes.
version of the podcast.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, it sounds delicious.
All right, I'm going to get up for just a second and grab another.
I'm very excited to try these, the fish balls with the roe in them.
Yep.
Very curious
Plus, I
about
don't
that.
know. It's actually I burned my tongue.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know inside it got like liquid.
really?
Yeah. I just like bite them hard and then I learn. But
All right,
I
I'll
love
move
it.
slowly. Maybe I start with the standard fish ball first.
Make sure which kind of football you get.
Yeah.
So we got a lot going on.
I'm very excited
With
for the
tofu.
tofu's
So that's
gonna be
why
awesome
I say
too.
use your chopstick.
Wow.
So the one I put it in, like they more stable to stay in there a while.
Mm-hmm.
But the one meat and fish, you guys have to use the tool, like put them
Okay.
in and then kind of like steaming them on top, like with the
Yeah, let's watch.
See when it's boiled right there, you just put the down.
Okay.
And
So it's a
then
pot within a
move the
pot in a
fish
way.
around.
Oh yeah.
And
And-
wait until they turn perfectly cooked.
Oh, cool.
Not too long. They will dry it out, but tender.
And that, for those of you just listening, it's just it's like a ladle with a strainer, right? That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. It's like yeah.
Yeah, so it's that way she can control what goes in, and this is magical to me. And,
Yes.
you know,
So we've got a lot of things in there right now. There's
Then we have to turn up the heat a little bit so they can move.
great. We've got noodles in there, 2 different kinds of noodles.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got
We
lobster,
have egg noodle. We
shrimp,
have, yeah.
daikon radish, 2 different kinds of tofu.
We just go crazy with that,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
But
well,
at
you know.
home, you guys can choose whatever you guys like it.
Right.
Not all of them.
And I feel like if I were making this at home, it would be a somewhat stripped down version of this. I have 1 serving tray total, so
But I love if somebody can beat us with all the stuff. Like, they
Yeah.
have, I have more stuff than you guys.
and maybe I'll throw that to the audience too. If you all have something, if you've made hot pot before and you have something that you really like in there, send me an email, podcast@junglegyms.com. I'd love to know what you're putting in there that maybe we didn't think to try. That's your must have.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm ready to party over here.
This mahi is fresh from Florida.
So very, yeah. And, you know, for those of you who are listening right now, if you haven't, you got to listen to our seafood episode, which I think was episode 16 or 17. It's in the title, The Seafood Spectacular. So go back and listen to that. You can talk with our seafood manager, Ross, who is an unbelievable wealth of knowledge in the world of seafood and has pretty much forever changed where I buy my seafood from, which is only here now. So does it help that I'm here 40 hours a week? Of course, but
Right. And then, okay, I don't know. And then we have dipping sauce next to everybody, like a
Oh,
thick.
yeah. Oh, did you try
I
the
haven't tried it yet, no. I already ate the fish. I gobbled it. I'm like,
Jimmy?
I want to get to that pot. So, yeah, I finished my first bowl, and it's like, what do we...
Okay, now first ball, I show you guys already.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know how to do. Beginning, do it yourself, and now
Right.
focus to eating.
Okay.
here's a question. So we
Yes?
have 2 different dipping sauces. So we have the one that's a fish sauce with the Thai chilies in it.
Yep.
The other one, which was a blend of what? Peanut butter, hoisin, soy sauce.
Yeah, I
And
do the
sesame.
2 ball. It's like 2 different type of Chinese people more used to the second one. And
Okay.
this for Vietnamese people use the fish sauce and,
Sure.
and Thai pepper.
Awesome. And now, should you use one of the sauces for certain types of things versus the other?
No, it depends how you like it, but I just show you guys the 2 basic way to make the dipping for the hot pot.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel weird to her about like I dip my fish on the fish sauce,
Yeah.
but it's actually try it and tell me what you feeling
Okay.
about that. Okay?
Wow.
Thank you so very much. I'm excited for that. All right. You said to put the fish in the fish sauce. That was
Just
the one?
lightly dipping and
Sure.
then
Wow.
eating them.
Go
Thank
for
you.
it.
Thank you. Okay. And then can I take this one? Is that yours over
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Okay, great. So basically,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so fresh and tender. I love it with the little. I'm not sure how to describe the flavor of the fish sauce directly, but it's like a little. It still adds like a little
good.
tanginess to it. I love that. That was
some
great.
zip, yeah. We have a lot going on here flavor-wise.
Yeah, really. It's hard to articulate. I'm hoping that through these experiences, I gained the vocabulary in order to properly describe some of this stuff. But listen to that rolling bubble happening. That's the sound of mahi and tofu. And what else did you say we put in there? We got the lobster tails in there
Lobster
now.
tail, shrimp.
Radish.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about the shrimp. I'm excited about the radish. Weirdly,
I want to get some
I
chrysanthemum
love daikon.
going. Some veggies and stuff. Okay,
Yeah,
thank
this
you.
is great.
Goodness. How do you not?
And for those of you listening too, this is sort of a fun way as I'm trying to start making the show a bit more of a video program, some live video, live streaming, you name it. So we can go in on this stuff.
Some fit tofu for you?
Oh, I would love some, please. Thank you.
go.
That's right. One of the tofu is regular tofu, firm, and the other tofu is a lightly fried tofu with fish
Yeah.
flavoring.
Yeah, and I think we are trying the
lobster.
fish flavored one first, right?
Yeah.
And a little lobster.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
curious
favorite
about that.
one,
Yes,
huh?
please. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. And then we have a fork and a spoon here. What's that for? I meant to ask you that.
It's for who cannot use the chopstick.
Okay.
And the spoon is for sure for the soup.
Broth.
Okay.
Broth, yeah.
Great. So yeah, with the lobster, is it dig out with your chopsticks kind of thing? Just hold on to one corner
Yeah,
and see where it takes you?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Okay,
will
I know
get
you're
one
doing a
for
ton
myself.
of stuff. Lucia's basically serving us, even though she probably just wants to eat and not
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
deal with our amateur questions. But she is really shepherding us along here.
It's okay. I'm happy
Little
to do
lobster
that.
guy. Oh, the tofu is great. It's a very mild fish flavor to it. I love the texture of it being lightly fried too.
Happy you like it.
So when I did this at home, it certainly was not this oily. This broth is
Because
definitely
different-
more oily.
It's a different style.
Okay.
So depend on which company doing it too. So
Lucky. And shout out quickly to Lucky, who's handling all of our video stuff, who also gets to try the food. And Luck just scream into the
Lucky, you
hot
want some
pot
noodle?
microphone. You know.
yes.
Going for my second fish sauce dip here.
Nice.
I'm not great with the chopsticks either these days.
These are a little different
Yeah,
than the
they are.
standard chopstick, which we should make sure that we keep in mind. See, I love that, it was something that Lucia and I talked about a little bit when she came in last time, but I love that there is this huge, what I'm finding at least, is that it seems like a lot of food traditions somehow got lost in American culture along the way at some point, especially now when I think of I can't even tell you the last time I sat down, and really had a sit down meal where there wasn't a TV on or, something like that. And this is fun already where we're engaging with each other, having a conversation, learning about why we do this, I think it's so much fun. Mm-hmm. That's the real beauty of the jumbo. Sorry, I'm doing the waiter thing where I was just like, Jimmy, let me engage with you while you're chewing.
No problem.
Okay, now Jimmy can answer on the question for you.
Right.
Focus.
Yeah, it's you need to enjoy yourself, Lucia. Although before you do start, I will ask, you were going to say how the way you recommended to eat the lobster tail. Are we just peeling it out?
So see, I just
Grab the tail?
wrap the tail, and then just peel a little bit. If you have the chopstick or the fork, you just try to get the meat out. That's
Okay,
all.
cool. Just want to make sure I'm doing it the
really
right
easy
way.
to get it.
I think I'm going to go full white people today. I'm going with the fork.
Yeah, the fork would be easy.
Yeah, I might switch to that too, just because.
Yeah, I'm
For me, I just use my hand
yeah.
because later you have to peel the skin of the
Shrimp.
cream also.
Oh, that'll be fun too, though. Peeling the shrimp. There we go.
See,
Cool.
you can get the whole meat out easy.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, the
little
fork.
hot.
That was the magic trick.
The fork did it for you?
It really
Yep.
did. I guess that's something else we should really bring up is that, we are using chopsticks because we can, but you don't have to even do that, you know?
Right.
I think we should go back to Lucia's comment of no rules when I'm eating.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great point, That's the U.S. tradition more than anything. It's mind your manners, get your elbows off the table,
Yeah, all
which is
this-
very nice, but sometimes you got to get a little,
Doesn't have anything to do with eating, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
no,
Get loose with your family.
right.
Get loose.
I agree.
Amen. I love
Comfortable.
that.
Be yourself.
Okay, just making sure that wasn't shell.
But today you get loose in front of stranger. The pepper get me.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Rolling a little of the bubbles. I just keep rolling the bubbles in and out for the audience's enjoyment. Anytime we're eating, they just hear the bubbling. The lobster tail. That was a dream I didn't know I had today. That's
Got
fun.
this fit ball, Jimmy.
Okay.
The one who rolls inside. Let me see. Let me get it.
Just be careful. It's like a
They got
Gino's
burned
pizza
inside.
roll,
just
Gotta
gonna
go do it
say.
in a minute.
You got to bite the corner off and let it vent.
Yeah, there's some potato. You want some potato?
Oh, cool. Thank you. Yes, please. All right. Now that I got my lobster out of the way, back to chopsticks. I'm going full authenticism.
Yeah. I love the chopstick. What an elegant way to consume.
It's clean too. My favorite ever was somebody told me a story the other day that they saw a guy in a suit wanting a bag of Cheetos and he got chopsticks to eat the Cheetos with.
So they don't
Admit-
stick a lot.
Yeah, I
We
thought
do
that was a
at
great
home.
idea.
We do that at home
That's genius.
with popcorn and anything powdery and all that stuff.
I need to
Buttery.
give you a product I have. I met this company years ago, and I don't know if they're still around or not, but they had a product called Trongs, and they were tongs for your fingers, but they were like a three-way. So it's little plastic grippers that go over your hand so you can just grab stuff cleanly, and it was great. Chicken wings, game changer.
Yeah, I might be curious about those.
I think I have plenty.
I
of
try to
them
use
still.
as few fingers as possible when I'm dealing with
They're
chicken wing, but you need fingers
Right.
to make it. The more fingers you have, the easier it is to eat.
They there's a few things in the design I would probably change personally, but totally worth it. I think I have plenty of them in the house. I'll bring you a couple to try out, and they're dishwasher safe.
Prongs, oh, wonderful.
Yeah, this is an accidental promo. Oh, you know what's funny is I didn't know how I would feel about the potato in here. Of all of the items that I saw in front of me, I was like, I'm curious about how the potato works. But it's like, you said earlier, Lucia, that you liked using the golden potatoes because they're creamy.
Yep.
But that's such a beautiful way of putting it. It is. It kind of like melted in my mouth. It still retains a lot of the heat and spice from this.
I would not have thought to use potato, but it's great.
Yeah. And that's how simple this is for anybody that wants to do this. Oh, yeah. It's almost shrimp season.
How the spaghetti, you guys?
So far, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize we had the glass noodles, too.
There you go.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
So that was our whole purpose for doing this, was just showing people how easy it is, the communal element of it,
Yeah.
just getting together, dipping, trying.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, why are we doing this? Other than this is great for us.
Well, right. Yeah. On a personal level, we're having an awesome time. Oh, it's mushroom season now. Oh, and the Napa's going in. Awesome.
Wow. There's so much stuff in there.
The thing is, when the liquid just run out, you can add some little water.
Should be enough to do it. That's awesome.
Because all the meat and all the seafood you guys put it in, they sweet up the broth.
Oh.
Would you like to eat, like, I want some vegetables,
So,
some
like,
meat,
so
some
the
noodle.
okay,
Yeah.
but like the heartier things tend to go in first, right? Like because
Yeah.
that was why we put the radish and the potato in early because they'll take a little longer to
Yeah.
soften.
That brings me another question. You're like emceeing right now in a way, not to take away from Mark.
No.
You're like emceeing the hot pot bowl. You're like in charge of it.
Okay.
In a normal family situation, is someone dumping in a bunch of stuff at once, or is it literally everyone picks one thing at a time?
Yeah, everyone cook their own stuff.
Okay.
And
I
just
have
like they
two.
pick whatever they want and put it in. That's why each of them, they got like one of the cooking tool, like a steaming.
Sure.
You put it in and cook whatever you want. And then you remember whatever you put it in, and then you kind of timing them the way you like,
Right.
and then take them out for your bowl. That's all. But like most of the family, a mother will do that for a kid.
Okay.
So we're
So we're just creating our own family here
We're the
today.
kids.
Okay. You guide the kid. I'm a mother.
I already
today.
told Lucia she had to adopt me after this. So
Yeah, that's fine.
everyone needs an almost 40-year-old child. So
Well, I do like dipping in the fish sauce. I think that's really nice.
yeah, I keep forgetting to try the other sauce.
Yeah, because I'm so
Daikon?
hooked on the
Yes,
tanginess,
please.
this tangy fish sauce.
Would you dip the daikon in anything or just go at? Or, I mean, I'm guessing what I'm starting to find out is just do whatever you like.
Yeah. Too spicy?
No, I was burping. Too much beer.
Yeah, so cognac, so
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah.
One more thing. It's before, it's in Asia,
Mm-hmm.
when you're drinking, you not drink by yourself. Like, oh, I'm sneaking by this.
Right.
You have to, like, everyone have to come in the same time. Like,
Oh.
hey, everybody, yo. It's my country. It's
Mm-hmm.
called cheer.
Okay.
So
we have
yo.
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 Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I keep
You're
forgetting
right.
to address the public too. The public out here in the octagon we're in right now. So those of you shoppers, if you're coming up and looking at this, next week we'll have video so you can see it all and get the recipes, all that good stuff prepared. And that goes for you podcast listeners too. But you're getting it firsthand right now. All right, now we're talking. I saw some lamb happening. I am
Yep.
incredibly excited about lamb in my day today. I'm just going to wait a second.
I love the flavor of the lamb.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting here, stomping my
I
chopsticks.
just tried
now.
one of those fish balls with the centerpiece.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not crunchy, but sweet, like a sweetness in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
All this stuff is so good.
Yeah.
There's so much
I'm
flavor.
just loving watching Lucia do this. It's just fun to you know. Well, I just realized now the time I went to try hot pot, I definitely didn't know what I was doing. And not that there's like, I wouldn't go so far as to be like, there's a true art to this, but there definitely is a bit of an art to this. And maybe it was just me lacking confidence in the moment to do it properly, but.
Yeah, I didn't know we didn't know. We were.
Okay, I got both kind of meat. One is beef and one is lamb.
Let's
so you
do
can
it.
try
Yeah,
it out.
I'm into it.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right, let's try that. I'm very curious about the lamb first.
Your neck, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank
There
you.
go.
I'm eyeballing some noodles too.
Maybe
Like
I
putting an
drop one
order.
more.
I'm like putting in a hot pot order. Like a few noodles and a little bit of that.
So really, we gotta now. I just really want to have a hot pot restaurant in the building.
I think this would be really cool. I think
Yeah.
it's great. But I also think the home thing is, I'm going to do this much more often. I'm trying to think of just making this a normal thing, an occasion. It's kind of like
Yeah.
fondue. I think Americans embrace fondue
A little bit
a
more
while back, you know?
There's definitely a time for it. I remember that happening.
We have some new product coming in too. We have like frozen packets of flavor of hot pot, like tom yum flavor, mushroom
yes.
flavor, and we got all the meats for hot pot on, so you guys can check it out in international section.
Cool. So
freezer.
so you can just like, I mean, we're already a one-stop shop, but even within, we're a one-stop shop within the one-stop shop.
It's really good. I would try all of that out.
So the beef is good. The lamb is incredible, though.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I would almost go so far as to say, if you're listening right now thinking, or watching right now, and you're like, oh, lamb or beef, I would almost
you.
tell you not even mess with the beef. The lamb, did you try both?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm letting them cool down just a second.
Yeah. I'm just gorging. I'm like, it's hot and ready. Shove it in my face. Oh, I forgot they had the daikon too. Yes,
We
please.
also, what do we talk about? Putting all this stuff together in one area of the store. We haven't figured out that just yet, but
Yeah.
we're gonna put even the pot itself with all the broth, and we won't be able to put the vegetables and stuff like that, but
Sure.
all the stuff to get you going
Right.
in one spot. So
And thankfully, all
be
the
on lookout for
vegetables are
that.
sort of centrally located to each other.
And you could really pick any vegetable you want. You can do your own thing. Mushroom coming. Mushroom.
I think what I like about this so much is that it is literally just do what you want.
Yes.
You know, I had a friend who was a little bit of a picky eater, and I wasn't sure how to break him into some of the Asian food I like. So I took him to a Korean barbecue place, which I think has obviously not the same here, but it does also have that kind of eat what you like mentality. And I thought that was a good gateway, as it were, you know, to get in there and go, hey, look, try something new. I'm like, you've seen meat before, and all you got to do is watch until it looks like it's cooked, and then you eat it, and it was great.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And it
Great.
became, you know, we were doing these repeat visits. At the time, this it was apparently a chain, but they had a location in Orlando where we were doing these education conferences, and it became this every year. You're like, can't wait to go back. So good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. So, Lucia, if, let's say, hypothetically, I don't have a hot pot set up at home right now, what would be another way you could functionally do this?
So let me see. So you guys can stay in the cooking area, and like usually somehow they got the middle kitchen.
Yep.
So you can cook in your kitchen, like, and everyone just sit around and share the food.
Yeah.
That's another way.
So, like, even something like, could I just take like a pot, like an actual pot over a heating, like a stove?
Yeah, that's how you do it. It's actually in my house we don't have the hot pot cooking, but I got the what is called
With the induction burner?
yeah induction
Yeah.
and the pot, and then I can use it for hot pot.
That's perfect.
It's just something you boil the broth when you eat.
Sure.
So the broth always boil, and then when you dip your food in, they will cook this. That's the main thing for a hot pot.
Okay.
The pot is hot. That's
Right.
the tip.
It's in the name.
And, right.
Yeah.
So, but this one, I don't remember what I paid for this. $29.99. I don't know. It wasn't too much for this little guy here to get you off first base.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could use it for other things, too. I mean, think
For
about
sure.
it. Yeah.
I don't know what yet, but
We'll find a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you got to figure out the That's, you know, I always have. I feel like I'm always buying single-use kitchen appliances anyway. So I'm in. Ooh, it's mushroom time.
I think I'm just going to use it for this and just try to do
Thank you so
hot pot
much.
all the time.
Yeah, that's good. I'm moving into Jimmy's next.
I even did this with my kids, and they got it. We were doing what Lucia was doing, kind of building them little bowls, and
Yeah.
it was great.
I feel like, and this is like a weird thing. Maybe
you.
this is my plus size nature coming out, but I'm kind of liking this from a dietary perspective too, which is that we're like eating in small segments. So I have a feeling I'll get fuller faster, which would be very helpful, you know. And I'm eating a lot more vegetables than I would typically find.
The
And I
amount of
think
vegetables
Yeah.
in here is great.
I'm excited about that. And Lucia, were these the enoki that I'm holding here?
That's a seafood mushroom.
Oh, seafood
It's kind
mushroom.
of
Okay.
similar to enoki, but it's bigger.
These mushrooms are great.
Mine were very hot.
A lot of timing going on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I did that thing where I was like, I was like, that's the right temperature, and then it like the hot inside came out. Thank you very much. I'll let those sit for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of fun when you eat hot pot. It means you eat it when you're full, you sit and talk, and then you turn off or turn slow down the heat, and then you're getting hungry again. Then you keep going.
Sure.
So
I love it.
this food is for people who love to eat. They can eat longer time.
How often would you say that you make hot pot for your family?
That's a good
You know?
Is like in the weekend
Yep.
or even in the middle of the week when the weather's so cold, people tough, this one can help a lot of it with that too.
Sure.
The hot stuff. And whatever I want hot pot, hot
So,
pot
like,
just like
whatever.
favorite food. Like
So, like, couple
you
months.
like eat burger,
Right.
Like
I
once a
want to
month?
have a burger, we like to have hot pot.
Yeah. No, I'd like to have hot pot instead of a
Yeah,
burger.
once
too,
a
to be
month?
honest with
Once
you.
a month?
I eat more than that.
More than that? Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
But like because we do today a ton of food different, but then if we have a hot pot of my family, we will maybe more basic like shrimp and beef and lamb. That's it, or some tofu.
Yeah.
And pick one or two kind of noodle we like. That's it.
Yeah.
And we have a hot pot.
That's awesome. It's that. I mean, it really
It's just
is
as
that
good with
easy.
this basic stuff too, because it's really about the community of it all.
Right.
And what you like for the hot pot.
Thank you.
That's all.
It's good.
And easy to repair. You don't have to do a lot of it.
Right.
But usually it's easy for us to cook at home anyway.
That's so fun.
So what's up? Let's talk about fish balls. That's a thing that really isn't an American thing, but it seems to be extremely popular in Asian stuff.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
we
thank you
like
very
this.
much.
It's easy. You can put it in a hot pot. You can stir fry it with vegetable, or you can like deep fry them like a little snack.
Oh.
They put like hot chili sauce.
Yep.
It's really good.
Sounds amazing.
So are they cooked or not cooked? I wasn't sure. Like
Some of them they were pre-cooked. Some of them is not cooked at all. So
Okay.
you have to cook them. Most of them like they pre-cooked like this one. You cook them in the hot pot until they flow up in the water. It means they're right to go.
Sorry, it's still hot. I keep burning my tongue temperature-wise, so I'm like, all right, I'll just keep it talking.
Oh, I got some radish. Okay, so the radish is probably
Oh, have
ready,
you tried
nice
the
and
radish
soft.
yet?
Not yet.
Okay, I'll stop. I don't want to flavor your experience.
Ooh, I think my whole experience is already flavored. This is great. This is nice and salty. It's the radish itself that was raw, right?
Yeah.
So it picked up all that flavor from the broth.
Yep.
Wow,
Kind of another,
Ooh.
you mentioned the
that
fish
might be my
balls.
favorite thing so far.
Yeah, that was where I was going with
Wow.
that too. I think that was a star of the show. What was I going to say? Oh, the tofu thing I thought was interesting too. And this is something that, Jimmy, you and I joked about before we started. But I do think there is a bit of a weird, and I'm sorry to call other people weird, but I'm not that sorry. A bit of an undercurrent in American culture of I don't want to call it a fear, but for lack of a better term, a fear of tofu a little bit. And I'm not quite sure why, because if you haven't had tofu before, I mean, I guess if you're just eating it raw out of the package,
Yeah.
that's not the way to eat tofu. If somebody served that to you directly, question your friendship with them. Don't question your friendship with tofu. But tofu's so great because it's so versatile and something. I mean, it's like to me, I always viewed it as a food sponge because it takes whatever flavors you're making and it lets those sing. It's a vessel for the experience, you know. Vessel.
Amen, man. That's a great word. Ooh, yeah, the daikon.
Daikon's a winner. All right, I think I'm. Did you all describe what was in the fishbowl? I was breathing fire during that.
We didn't get into that. I just know it's a very common thing. Is it normally multiple kinds of fish? One kind of fish?
Different kind of fish, cutlass fish. Sometimes they make it shrimp mix into it too. Depend which kind of flavor you like. You know, they got all of that different kind of thing. Seafood on that too. Fish, different kind of fish. Just like meatball, you have chicken meatball,
Right.
beef,
Pork.
you know, turkey, ton of it. That's like how like salsa too. Like you make a lot of stuff in that,
Sure.
but we call the name salsa. Just like,
Got it.
you want some lamb?
Yes, please.
There you go.
All right, I just had a fishbowl. I love that. I had the one without the roe inside. I like the texture of it a lot. It's like chewy, but it's got
great.
it's like tough in a good way, if that makes sense. Like it was a fun to eat item. I know that's maybe a weird way to put it.
It's a nice way to eat fish. It's yet another way to eat fish.
Yeah. Well, that's
Thank
that's
you, Lucia.
really
Are you eating? You want to take a break and have a?
yeah.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to take a break.
Yeah,
to-
eat. Do some eating.
Yeah, time out. We're fine.
Time out.
Get
No,
loose.
to cook.
We're 40 minutes in already. We're doing good.
Yeah.
Really? We're almost done.
Yeah, we have plenty of
yeah.
content. So,
It's kind of fun.
and then the rest of it is just a soft music bed as it's just all of us eating at the table.
I'm gonna just go home right after this and just
Sleeping.
go pray and
Yeah.
go to sleep.
You pray before you sleeping?
Yeah. Just be thankful. That's what I meant.
This is the second time we ate hot pot together.
I know. How cool is that?
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for quite some time.
I'm glad we got to do that. Really, I'm just trying to be that connective glue here.
Sorry, because maybe the broth today a little harder to using it. Don't you think? Or it's okay?
The broth? Harder to use? What do you mean?
Like harder for you guys to eat?
Because it's the spice?
Spicy?
Oh no, it's like perfect.
No,
to
I
me.
like that. It's a good challenge. It keeps us slowing me down. I'll put it that way. I'm not just gobbling everything.
I can
up.
hang with spice. So this is like, to me, this is like perfect spice. One of those things that's been weird. I found it's happened a lot in the snack food realm where they use kind of that like chemical spicing. You know, you see things like flamin' hot, whatever. I can't really get into that. I would argue that this was way spicier than any of those snacks, but it's not giving me any of the negatives of, I mean, it's what you'd expect. I'm assuming they're just spraying chemicals on your Doritos.
When it says flaming hot, I look at the back and I want to see what is actually making it hot.
Yeah.
Like, what is the thing that's making it hot?
Right, exactly. It's probably some acid. I don't want to find out, but this is like this is great. And you know, again, you mentioned earlier, Lucia, you were like, oh, it gives you the numbness on the lips, and I'm like, oh, I love it though.
All right, I'm going to try the meat in the other sauce. I don't know
that's a
what we
good
call
idea.
it. Does the sauce have a name? This is just more the kind of standard.
Kind of like sweet
Yeah.
and a little salty, creamy from there.
I tried the fishball in both. It was delicious in both. I think the sweeter sauce played better with the fishball. We get a little of that like nuttiness from the peanut butter in there.
Yeah, we put just good old peanut butter mixed in here. Something I saw today that I thought was cool, that we saw little bottles, 99-cent bottles of squid sauce.
Yeah.
Fish sauce. Squid brand.
Squid brand.
Fish sauce. I don't know what that thing was. 4 ounces, 3 ounces.
Got a big bottle here.
It's so cool. And so I guess that's for people so they can have a little fish sauce experience,
Yeah,
because
they
fish
can
sauce
try
is
it out.
very
Really
unique.
hot. It was kind of, some people really nervous to have them
Yeah.
because the smell is really strong. Especially sometimes we clean up the bottle of fish sauce broken on the floor.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good. But
Strong aroma.
a little bit of it in your food, they get your food to a different level.
To me, it doesn't taste like it smells at all. It's like, I don't know if you guys like,
No, I totally agree with
French
that.
cheeses, some of the blue cheeses and all that stuff. The smell is very strong, but the flavor is totally different. And I think fish sauce is the same way.
I find that very interesting too because
too.
taste and smell are so related
Yeah.
that I'm shocked when something is pretty dramatically different. I agree with you on the fish sauce end too.
Probably you don't smell it, but the people next to you smell it.
Right.
Whoever's not eating it has a problem with it.
And this is me being the dummy here. I've just always eaten it and not asked the question, assuming is it just made of fish? Like, why is it called fish sauce? It's just made of fish. Okay.
Make it fish.
Like
So
fermented, right?
For what I knowing,
Mm-hmm.
my rowing is fish sauce is directly from Vietnam, but you
Okay.
can see all the bottle. They're from Thailand,
Right.
or China, Taiwanese. But then the bar like they do it in different country, but actually that product of Vietnam. And the beginning, I believe, is from Phu Quoc Island. It's the island surround.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of fish called cá cơm. I don't know what's the name of it in America, but
Yep.
we use that fish. They really tiny one. So when they have a lot of that fish, they don't know what to do with that. You cannot eat all of them at the
Sure.
same time. So they ferment it, like one layer of fish, one layer of salt, and they let it juicy out slowly in the bottom.
Yeah.
Like they age them. So the longer they last in there, they taste really good. And how much fish you put it in, they got the percent of what is called protein on the fish sauce. The more protein in the fish sauce, the better the fish sauce will taste.
Oh, you're saying this thing will tell you like what percentage of.
They usually say it in the bottle, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yes, but then decide like how many fish it's in and how long they age and how much salt you put it in it too.
Oh, interesting.
So,
Yeah.
then they will have the flavor of fish sauce different. Some of the fish sauce you can see lightly color they use for cooking.
Okay.
Like when you cook some food, you want a flavor. They strong flavor, but the percent of the protein are low. But
Okay.
then the dipping fish sauce is more thick, darker, and the flavor is stronger. It's for dipping, so it's more quality for eat it raw with food. So that's why I repair you some dish.
Yeah.
You can dip it in.
Oh, that's so fun. And it was anchovies. I was trying to figure out what fish it was.
Anchovy.
Got it.
There you go.
I saw it just at the end. I was like, oh.
That's a good one.
The reason I was asking that, and I know it sounds like a dumb question, but I have always carry. I'll usually have fish sauce at the house, but I'll always have oyster sauce too. And at some point, I read an article where they were saying that oyster sauce can be vegan, and I don't know if that's a oyster issue, but I'm guessing that some of them are not actually made with oysters. And
I
that was,
believe so.
yeah. So I was sort of curious
Even
about that.
with fish sauce, we have vegan fish sauce. They
Really?
They make by pineapple. We actually sell
Oh,
that
wow.
product in the store.
Oh.
Really popular.
Really?
So for vegan people, they can able to have some flavor of their food, but not actually fish.
Oh, wow,
It's
that's really cool.
From pineapple.
And it tastes pretty similar.
Kind of pretty similar.
Okay, probably a little
But you know,
sweeter,
like
yeah.
vegan beer or like 0%
Right.
will
There's
taste
like something's
kind of,
a little off.
Yeah.
Right.
But it still give you a little flavor of it if you are vegan.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. We'll submit that sound of the bubbling to a sound library in the future. We'll be watching a movie one day and you'll be like, that's our hot
I know
pot.
that. Yeah. I have an audiographic memory.
Really?
I know that sound.
Yeah. That's so funny. Are there
want some
any of the, yes, I'll take another mushroom.
What
Do
you want more?
The regular tofu I wanted to try. Is there a
Yeah,
piece of
I
that
did.
in there?
I did have in here.
Yeah, I
make
just
that
want to
one.
see how that is
There
comparatively.
you go.
Thank you so much, Lucia.
You can see the tofu a
Yeah,
little
that's-
darker.
Here we go. Beautiful.
Spicy, baby.
It is. It's great.
Woo. I feel like I'm just putting on a track of sniffling.
I'm a spicy boy.
That's why when you feel a little toffee in your nose, try the hot pot out. That helps a lot. You're not allowed to be full early.
Okay.
We have to clean the dish.
A
That's
lot of
called
veggies.
respect the cooker. Yeah. Yeah, that's the facts. Oh wait, your mom will love it and happy when you see, oh, you clean the dish. You drink all the soup, but I don't expect you guys drink all of this one.
I will if I have to, though. Yeah, I want to get that broth base. It's so good.
And on the packet, they say it's handmade.
Oh, wow. The
Not-
package was extremely fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just only $7.99 each.
That was a question I had for you. When you make this at home, do you use a broth base like that too, or do you just...
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes I use broth base, like some like Szechuan like this.
Okay.
But like tom yum flavor or something, I just use the flavor tom yum.
Okay.
And then cook with whatever I like. I throw in the pineapple or corn to make the soup sweet.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
Depend, It's just raw easy.
Yeah.
Some water, some salt, and some kind of like sweetness you like seasoning.
Yeah. Cool.
You can increase and create your own hot pot flavor.
Yeah, so that was kind of what I was hoping for, and thinking that, like, look, if you don't even want to come in and get the broth base, you just do whatever you want.
Yep. You could just do regular old.
This is why
Broth.
this is why I try to never drink beer on air. I've been
Oh,
half
I'm
bourbon
sorry.
the whole time.
Forced it
No. Don't be sorry at all. I'm happy to always drink with everybody. It's a communal. Yo,
Cheers. Yo,
Yo.
this is half of the meal.
we did it.